is B, Professor R. Another segment, A Man's Guide to Success, brought to you by A Man's Guide to Success. And in today's segment, we're going to talk about how to establish reality from identity. Okay, if you look at biblical times, identity, what is identity? Identity starts with the fact that who you are and your identity. See, reality is this. Reality is what's real and what do you see and what do you see that's real. Identity is who you are and what you identify yourself with. Sometimes as people we find ourselves looking at our identity, how we became who we are. See, men and women have different identities, but you who are of age, you find out that as men and women, how do you get this identity? You see, we cannot criticize others based off of what we know. We got to remember, we are not here for criticism, but you're going to take criticism. You're going to take a lot of pressure. You're going to take on things that a lot of people, they're going to not like you for. But it's up to you as an individual, man or woman, to figure out what it is you're doing to take care of yourself. I learned that over time that I've spent around in my circle, I realized as a man who's getting older, that as men, we got to take care of ourselves. We can't live through the example to other people, because you got to realize people keep you critical. They keep thinking that they know who you are. No one knows what you're going through. But you got to realize people don't supposed to know what you're going through. They just see you and they say hello, but they don't realize that as human beings, as men and women, we go through things that other people can't imagine. You think you know people, but you don't. You got to remember, reality is you got to take care of self. How you do that? Start with here, your mind, and then work towards other things. You got to remember, people are there because they're there, but you got to separate yourself from who they are and who you are. That's how you find yourself. A lot of times, we as men, we don't find ourselves. We find ourselves talking to other people. We find ourselves being like other people. But we don't find ourselves wondering what's our own reality. A man's actual reality is himself and what he does in his day. See, reality tells you that you must understand where you're going or how you got there. Most of the time, we don't know what the next step is. But as men, we try to understand other people's actions. But we can't understand how we got to understand other people's actions. See, a lot of men that are over 50, they are the way they are because that's how they were raised. They were taught from their fathers how to work and how to establish a household. That's why the other men that are in those conditions or cultures, this is how they were raised. And they didn't understand why their fathers worked a lot. As children, we were taught that that's what fathers are supposed to do. They're supposed to be there. They're supposed to take care of you because they were obligated to. But you gotta remember, they went through something like you went through something. And you're saying to yourself, what did they go through? See, I realize that as you get older, you gotta take more care of yourself as a man. You have to acknowledge that you're taking care of yourself and wonder how you got to that point. A lot of the times, as men, we don't know how we got there. But the sisters, they see us. They see us as men who have a establish our feet. Our feet is on solid ground, but is it on solid rock? How do you get to solid rock, you ask? Well, here's one way. Learn how to treat other people better than yourself. See, what I realize, conversation starts with you and how you got there. See, as men, we put ourselves in this condition. Women want us to get out of the condition. They trying to figure out who they are as well as figure out who you are. So you got to understand why they say certain things, because they know your condition. Women will speak up before a man does. This is why they're able to help us and understand our behavior. They know we're simple. So they come with different things and different stories to tell you. And when they do that, just try to figure out what they're trying to tell you based off of your needs. What I realize is that as you grow into becoming the man you want to be, women, they find out that in order to be satisfied, they have to educate themselves on us. But do we educate them about us? We don't. See, women understand that as men, we need to pick up the pieces. We need to gradually see where our pieces are. But they already understand that. See, as men, we don't understand them, because we wasn't built to understand them. Like men, you gotta remember, working on self starts with the mind. How you got there, what can you do, what are you capable of? And as men, we gotta look at the reality of women need our help. Our sisters need us, and we got to help them. We gotta educate ourselves on how to do better as men, because at a starting point, we wondering as men of color why the other men have our women. Because to me, it's about understanding who you are and how you got to get the identity. But to be a king of your household, you got to realize what a king does. Provide, protect, produce. Those are the three main key ingredients. But you got to do one of the three. And if you can't do one of the three, then you need to find out how to get help with that. See, men of certain age understand it. But men that are below that age, they don't understand it. And the reason being is because they never knew who their fathers were doing. They only watch what their fathers do, because that's one thing they learned. But they didn't learn that the father took care of their family. They didn't pick up on that. So as men, we gotta start understanding how to get to that level. Sometimes you may not understand why the next man's capable more than you, because he makes himself available to everything he does. And that's why she looks at him to supply all her needs. Women supply needs based off of how a man applies himself. If you up every day doing what you normally do and don't change who you are, you won't know your identity. Because you gotta realize identity starts with your mind. How you think is how you perceive life. And don't think it's anyone else's fault. It's your fault, because that's how you perceive life, and women will perceive you that way. When you got educated women who understand who men can become, you gotta go along with it, because at some point, you as a man gotta think, how can I get the woman that I'm asking for? We pray on this thing, but are you doing what you need to do to make things right between you and the significant other that's going to come in? Because you're going to match up with different women, man. But gentlemen, sirs, you got to realize a woman is looking for a man with quality, not quantity. A woman is looking for a man to have character, to have characteristics. A woman is looking for a man that she can match herself with and build security and stability. A woman knows what type of man she's acquired. A woman knows these things. But as men, do we make it as easy for them to get us? Some men don't. Because guess what? You're pouring in what she's going to look at. You're pouring into yourself. So you got to understand, that woman you trying to match up with, do you match up with her character? If you see her working, do you match up to that? You got to ask yourself this question. How can I get to where she is? Man, you got to stop asking that question and just start applying yourself by reading books about certain things, about relationships, about self-improvement, about, you have to read certain things, guys, because, men, you're wondering why the woman sizes up, because they sizes up by what they see you doing. They go by what you tell them. And then once you tell them, they hold on to that. Then you're wondering how they're able to apply it to you in your daily life, because you told them about yourself. And as men, you can't overshare, because women, they keep that locked in. This is how they size you up. And then you wondering, man, did I do something right? Did I say something wrong? Yeah, you said too much. You didn't keep up with your promise that you promised her you was gonna take care of her. And now she's insecure. Now she's full of anxiety. For just women just go. They just see you not, secure enough, and you cannot get upset because they are holding you accountable for what you have promised them. And sometimes we don't know why we get held accountable, but you gotta realize you're getting held accountable because you told this woman you're with that you was going to give her things, and then she expected you. Now you can't keep up with that promise you made. So that's the reality. As a man, now you're dealing with a dilemma based off of what you told her. She's like, he can't protect me or make me secure. The reason why you can't do that is because you can't own up to what you promised. Now you're mad because you can't own up to what you promised. Wow, you say, bro, man, you gotta realize, whatever you tell her, man, is what she's about. Because this is what you're telling her. You're telling her this. And then you're wondering, man, how is that possible? Well, because you told her something that she locked into, and now she's using it where you gave it to her. Now you're upset with her because she get how your mind operates. Men, understand where she's coming from when she tells you stuff. Don't get upset because you don't understand how she knows this. She's been with you from every year, but now it adds up to, I need her now. I need her now, older now. If you're a man in your 60s, remember, there's a woman that may be younger taking care of you. Not because she despises you, not because you need it. She's just taking care of you because she knows your needs now. Because she's at a point where she's been watching and studying you. You're like, man, this woman knows everything I need because she watched you. Women observe us and how we do things. So you gotta remember, men, don't be afraid to let a woman know your needs. If she know it, that's how your marriage is going to survive. That's how your relationship is going to survive. But don't overcompensate where you're saying, oh, I don't need this, I don't need that, I'll figure it out. But she know you ain't got to figure it out because by the time it's year 4, she know you're not able to stand alone. And this is what women, how they look at us as men. Are we able to stand on our own 2 feet? Are we able to survive without parents and grandparents? We got to think this way. This is the only way that we're going to get by. Older women, they see us. But we as men got to see ourselves. and take care of our health and cut out some things, and that's giving us this health issue. Take care of yourself. And just remember, Professor R, saying with love. Okay? Caring is very important. So you care and you say you love who you are, that's what it needs to be. Love who you are so others can love you too. This is Professor R, friends. Another wonderful segment of Men's Guide to Success. Shabbat Shalom.